Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today is our weekly series, I guess, of Mandalorian reviews. So chapter 13, the Jedi. So I guess non-spoiler thoughts. You can't. Literally the first shot of this episode is a spoiler. Non-spoiler thoughts. It's amazing. Go watch it. We'll get into spoilers now, I guess.
But there's one. If depending on your views on Star Wars and stuff, there may be some things you don't like or agree with, or maybe confused.
Also,
about.
Your familiarity with Star Wars is important here. So if you're not familiar with Clone Wars and Rebels, then you're probably going to be a bit lost with a lot of the things. Not a bit lost. You'll probably be very lost with a lot of the things in this episode. So, with that being said, the episode was great. Go watch it. If you've already watched it, feel free to stay here and listen to us talk about it.
But you've been warned, so...
Yeah. What did you think about this episode?
Very good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Basically, I'm just going to share this
One
now.
of the best episodes this season, in my opinion.
I saw a video... I'm not going to name who it was because, I don't know, not really relevant. I saw a video from someone who saw a plot leak, and it happened to be the whole of this episode. So I watched it. I thought, this was before the episode came out, I thought this should be interesting. Watched it, and most of it turned out to be true. So
you got some of this.
So there is legit plot leaks out there that can come through once in a while. Not all of it was in there. Like some big parts were left out.
Be careful, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're curious about, say, the next week's episodes and stuff, I wouldn't recommend going out there searching for potential leaks and stuff, because this one for me came true. I kind of regret watching it, but at the same time I went looking for it, so it's kind of my fault. But yeah, just be careful, I guess, before the episodes come out. So yeah.
Yeah. But this episode was just amazing. I guess the first thing to go into, just first of all, because it's the first thing they showed, Ahsoka, which obviously we knew she was going to be in this episode. That was pretty much just common knowledge. But so that's one thing I liked. They didn't make a big deal out of her reveal. She was just there because obviously we knew that she was going to be here. And we had Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka. Let me just bloody clap my hands there. That was just beautifully done. Everything about that was perfect.
The design was really good. The design was exactly how you thought it was going to be. There's been a lot of fan drawings and stuff, and it looks exactly the same. It looked good. Yeah, and she did.
Rosario Dawson's an amazing actress anyway. And she did such a good job. You kind of forgot that she was even you forgot that it was her playing the character. It was just it was just Ahsoka. And they kind of it seemed like some kind of weird mash of versions of Ahsoka, because her design was a mix between Rebels and Clone Wars, which was good. It was interesting.
She wasn't wearing her white cloak thing, which we saw with her at the end of
Rebels.
It
looked like the cloak from the end of Clone Wars, but then she had a Rebels lightsaber, so it's a fusion of designs. And the lightsabers kind of had a bluey tint to them, even though they were white.
I think that's because they were brought into live action, I guess. So.
Yeah, probably. But the design was great, the performance was great, everything about Ahsoka was perfect in my opinion. It was just amazing.
That's the only really new big thing that we got out of this episode, except for obviously...
there's quite a bit more.
I guess with I don't even know what any of those guys were called, the ones who were being controlling over all those people who were living in that town.
Magistrate and her...
Yeah, those were basically the new sort of characters we got introduced to.
One of them, played by Michael Biehn, who's famous for Terminator. He's Kyle Reese in Terminator.
Yeah.
So for Terminator fans, that's a really interesting casting. He wasn't in it a lot, but that's the guy that Mando shoots when he pulls a pistol out. And
I know which one you're talking about.
But yeah, Michael Biehn was in this episode, which was interesting. I guess now we know who he was playing in this season. But the first scene with Ahsoka where she was killing all those people like a ninja kind of, and even later in the episode they captured Ahsoka's fighting style so perfectly. It was the animated version just translated into live action.
I think all the fights were really good in this episode.
Yeah, so I would have shot some of them a bit differently, but they were good for the most part. The only thing I would say about this, and this is more personal taste in my opinion, it's a shame that the episode was directed pretty decently, but the planet that they were on was just like super ugly. Like it just looked disgusting. Like I mean, maybe that was the point, but I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Kessel from Solo, and I just hated what Kessel looked like from Solo. It looked horrible. So
I mean, I guess I didn't mind it because switching
and it wasn't
up
even
looks
like
on planets are okay.
It wasn't even like the Dagobah sense where it's like it's supposed to like it's kind of cool that it's like all grimy and all that. It just looked nasty. Like I didn't want to look at it, but
it looked very plain. It didn't have much.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me. Do you remember that episode of Avatar with the swamp?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It reminded me of that. It kind of reminded me of that, which obviously Dave Filoni is just like he worked on Avatar and Clone Wars and all that as well. But yeah,
let's dive into the plot a little bit.
So.
Let's get into the
plot. So
we see Mando and the child sort of heading towards the planet. We see the opening scenes, obviously Ahsoka cutting up all the magistrate guards and the army sort of thing.
Goons.
Goons. Because she wants what we know of at this point in the episode is a piece of information she's looking for, which we later find out is about Grand Admiral Thrawn.
It's an important piece of information that comes later. So
that we'll talk about that, then. But she's looking for information. She says you have 24 hours before I come and basically chop you all up, and then she walks off. And then you see Mando sort of just land, go towards the gate thing. They let him in. They talk about the Beskar, which no one will shut up about in this series because it's such a desirable item. They talk about his Beskar, let him in. Recognise obviously he's a Mandalorian. He's a sort of a bounty hunter from the guild. Mando gives a lot of sarcastic comments this episode, which I quite like. I think that's a running theme throughout the episode. They basically say, because you're a bounty hunter, go and find the Jedi, go and kill her, and we'll give you a Beskar spear, I think it is. It's
like a staff spear thing.
Staff spear.
It's a spear.
Which
staffs are usually thicker than that.
Made out of pure Beskar, which is
the best kind of Beskar. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and so he goes. He obviously is not going to kill the Jedi because he knows which Jedi
he is. Looking for her, yeah.
Then we see which I thought was a cool fight scene. Well, for about 5 seconds that it lasted between Ahsoka and Mando.
It wasn't really much of a fight as opposed to her just smacking him in the arms with their lightsabers and
him just deflecting
says, You're Ahsoka,
it, which you said was I don't know, like not like
no, I didn't really have a problem with it. It's just like if I was nitpicking, I'd say that's a bit broken. I don't understand why they don't just like make their armor. But, I mean, I guess that's just like movie logic anyway, but like why they don't just make their armor so they can't get their heads cut off, considering what happened to previously. I feel that's probably a wise idea. Just extend your helmet a bit, put some sort of neck brace on, so if you get smacked in the neck you can't die. I guess Boba Fett took that on board, but none of the other Mandalorians did. So
true. But that is a really cool scene with the gauntlets and stuff, and that could also foreshadow him just using obviously Beskar sort of materials and items against Moff Gideon if he does happen to face him off in a well, it's not really a lightsaber duel unless he gets a lightsaber, which I don't know if that's going to happen anymore, but
it's a melee weapon duel.
But then we see that sort of happen, and then he goes, Bo-Katan sent me. She's like, and then he goes like, we need to talk, and then she goes, I hope you want to talk about this guy. Goes over to the child, obviously. Then we have like this little slight just changing the time of day. It goes to sort of night.
Scenery,
we see.
And one thing that I know.
Oh yeah, go on.
One thing I noticed with that scene was when Mando's walking through that forest. There's an owl there, and I'm thinking, do you think that's Morai, who's like the owl of the daughter's owl, which is like the one? Do you remember at the end of Clone Wars when Darth Vader looks up and owl's flying around, and then in Rebels, the one that Ahsoka says, "This is my friend," and all that. I wonder if it's Morai.
I didn't pick up on that, but that's a good point.
Yeah, I saw an owl, which is interesting. And then in that next scene, also another thing I noticed was Ahsoka's like mannerisms. One thing that was like really good about Rosario Dawson, her performance was like she got the way she like moves her head and like moves her eyes and all that kind of stuff was like perfect. It was like a replica of the animated one in live action, which was great.
I mean, so we get to the point where Ahsoka and the child are sort of in the little bonding force session where obviously she's
Yeah,
trying to
there's
find
like,
out more about him,
talking,
so she
yeah.
can tell Mando what's going on.
It's like a
Mando sort
mental
of
force like connection.
Mando sort of pacing back and forward like a worried parent, which I thought was quite
Yeah.
funny. And obviously develops the relationship even more. And yeah, then she obviously we get the big name drop for the child, and that is Grogu. Or
Yeah,
Grogu,
Grogu's the child's
or
name.
however you want to
Grogu,
pronounce it,
yeah.
but it's pronounced
I think it's Grogu.
in the
That's
show.
how they said it in the episode.
That breaking the sort of stereotypical of Yoda's race being with Y, like Yoda, Yaddle.
At the beginning.
We
Well,
got-
not Yo. Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what
so
they were all Y, yeah.
Grogu, and then you could talk about this stuff because this is more Clone Wars prequel stuff about the
Yeah, they,
Jedi Temple.
which is this is where there's questions start being asked, because they say that we've seen, like, well, they say that Grogu, the child, whatever you want to call him, we'll call him Grogu because that's his name now. He was trained during the Clone Wars, which
by many
obviously-
masters, apparently.
Yeah, which I have a few questions about that. First of all, where was he in the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith and all those movies? And second, does that mean that one of them taught him Force Heal? Because he uses Force Heal, and he must have learnt that from somewhere. So, also, who was teaching him Choke as well?
Choke might have been
Who else?
Anakin.
Yeah, maybe Anakin was teaching it. Maybe he, like, was teaching him to kill kids, like, before he decided to go and do it.
maybe
I think
maybe Palpatine wandered in at some point. It's just I force choking people.
my theory, I think this. I don't know. I've just thought of this now. I think that potentially his master could have been Count Dooku. Because think about it, he was born before Attack of the Clones,
Yeah.
and even before the Phantom Menace.
Actually,
and
yeah, that
Dooku
makes
could've-
sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
And also that, you know, that lady, the magistrate lady, she had the same like looking cloak or like cape as Count Dooku. I don't know if that's just kind of a throwaway
that
thing,
actually
but-
makes sense because that would make sense of why he had more than one master.
Yeah, because
Also,
Dooku
what about
obviously ditched,
Qui-Gon? Could he be a
ditched the Jedi.
possibility?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But then again, I guess it can't, because in the Phantom Menace they say like you can only have one apprentice, and then he's like, I'm gonna take Anakin as well. And Yoda says no, and so he just says yes by the end of the movie. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, so then we see
The-
we get the big sort of information, like background
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
And then also Yoda, not Yoda, Ahsoka mentions Yoda, should I say? Says I only knew like one other person of his kind, which I don't know if I doubt Ahsoka ever met Yaddle. I see him.
Oh, maybe.
But then they say that during Order 66, someone took him from the Jedi Temple and hid him. So there's a few questions as to who that could be.
I have a theory about this actually. It could be Obi-Wan.
Okay.
I think it could be Obi-Wan because
I don't think, because we would have seen that in Revenge of the Sith, right? Because
but they might show it in the
everything that
Obi-Wan
does.
series. That's what my theory is.
That's true, but then again, wouldn't Anakin have slaughtered him like he slaughtered all the other kids?
I don't know, man. He might.
When he entered the temple.
Because-
Maybe he's in like a slightly more forgiving mood. I don't know, but that doesn't really make much sense to me. But then my theory, potentially, especially with the show coming out next year, is do you think it could be? I said this to you earlier, but do you think it could be the Bad Batch? Maybe they were there, like at the Jedi Temple, and they were like,
yeah,
"What the hell's
you
going on?"
did
And then they
mention
found it. Yeah, and then maybe they take him and they show that in the Bad Batch TV show, and that could be like a prequel to this.
But how did it get on the other planet? I don't remember which planet. The one that Quill's on.
I don't think they give it a name. The one with the Weakways are all looking after him, and
Yeah,
that little-
that's like
yeah.
one because if any sort of like good person sort of took him from the
yeah,
temple.
they're not just gonna ditch him with some random
Yeah, they're not
pirate
going to ditch
people
him
who
with
are
some
just gonna-
pirates. So there's got to
Actually,
be some more.
you know what I've just
transition.
thought now because of that. Do you think it could be Hondo who took him?
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh
Hondo's
yeah,
like
yeah. Maybe,
friends with
maybe,
Weakways
maybe.
and pirates and stuff. Do you think it could be?
Maybe.
Oh, could you imagine that if Hondo came in live action? That'd be so sick.
That could be a good way to introduce him.
And obviously, Hondo just doesn't care about anything aside from money. He probably saw little Yoda and thought, "There's some money right there." And he just went and
Grabbed
took
it
it
and
and sold it
ran.
to the people. Yeah, and put it under the protection of his pirates. Yeah, that's a possibility. Actually, could be Hondo.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's a good
interesting.
point. I mean,
Yeah.
we can do some more bloody speculation videos on this, like maybe like after the season ends, if we don't get any more information.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot to unpack with specifically this episode, the season in general, but this episode definitely.
yeah,
Um,
basically,
We get Grogu, as he's now known. We get his backstory.
we get his backstory, not fully, but yeah, we get like a lot more. Like,
Yeah, there's
that
some
we
details
obviously
left
knew.
out, but
And apparently he was hiding his force powers to make sure he wasn't
yeah,
detected.
which that's kind of iffy because he wasn't really hiding them, was he? I mean, he starts choking out Kara when they're all just sitting there.
I don't know. I think
I guess there's not many people there. You trust Khalil and Mando, so I guess that makes sense.
In this episode, we sort of get this idea that his connection and trust with Mando and his relationship with Mando allows him to be sort of stronger in the Force.
And influences him, like, cause he's more fearful. Maybe that's why he started. That kind of links back to season 1, where Ahsoka said that he does it out of fear. Maybe it's like fear that someone's going to hurt Mando, because obviously he choked Kara when she was arm wrestling him, because obviously he's only a baby. He probably thought that she's.
The thing is, he had a few times to save Mando. This season, he didn't really do anything, so.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
So
he's just kind of sitting there, but
I don't know. He's been more of a. I feel like this season he's been more of an actual child, more than just a Force user sort of thing.
Which is good because they're giving him his own personality as opposed to making him a plot device.
But yeah, Ahsoka's like, I can't train him. It's best if you just.
Well, she tries. She does the thing with the rock, which could be an Empire reference, maybe. That's a bit of a stretch, but she was trying to get him to use the Force on the rock and like take it from her. And then he does it, and then she's like, "Give it back," and then obviously he's like,
he just like, throws down the floor.
Has no motivation.
The thing is,
and then Mando gets the little ball thing from the Razor Crest's like switch, and
which makes a return. Welcome back, Razor Crest ball.
The way he like grabbed that, and just like flung it towards his hand. That was like pretty cool because he did it like super fast. And, like yanked it out of his hand.
I don't know. I think. I don't even know. I don't even know after this episode where this child powers thing is gonna go. Obviously, let's just talk more about sort of the, the plot. So basically,
the nitty gritty.
Just let's just carry on with the plot, and then we could dive back into deeper details when we come across them. So then he basically says, "Train him." She goes, basically, no. She says, "I can't train him because of his connection to you." Like. It's too strong, basically, and it's going to influence. She goes. It's best
again.
If he just
I've got. Not. She didn't say that, did she?
She said something like that. She goes, "It's best if he just shuts himself off," but she says like hides his powers or like just slowly lets go of his connection.
Yeah, maybe that was what she said. I don't know. I didn't think she said that, but
she said something like similar to
I need to rewatch it. Yeah, but she said that he's like he can't control his fear. And all that stuff, and she said that I've seen what that does to Jedi. Obviously, talking about Anakin, like she said, even the best of us. She's talking about Anakin, and I've seen it turn them basically evil. Which again, Anakin. So yeah, that's interesting with the child. It's an interesting thing there. But I've got a theory about that. But again, I'll get to that later. The scene after that, though, obviously Mando says, "They sent me here to kill you. I don't want to do that," basically, is what he says. And he says that, so you train him. And she says, "No, but if you help me kill these lot, then I'll train him." And then big action ensues.
So then we get another sort of siege, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, siege of that town, I guess. Yeah. And that whole scene was like really good. It was like the choreography for Ahsoka with her lightsabers. She's moving just like how she would in Clone Wars and Rebels. It was really good. Also,
that one civilian at the start who's playing. He's like, I think he's playing with his children, and then
when he's talking to those kids, and then he comes.
He makes a return and helps with the siege for like some of it.
Yeah, it becomes the new magistrate, I think.
Yeah, what we can tell by the end, because obviously we get the duel between the magistrate and Ahsoka, which was really good. I really enjoyed that. And it was so sick because she was like fighting like she did in Rebels, and when she loses the lightsaber, she flips the other one round and holds it like in Clone Wars. So that's like a reference to early Clone Wars when she only had one lightsaber, obviously, and she like flips it round and holds it just like she did in Clone Wars. That's how she wins. So it's good to like see them acknowledging the like entire character of Ahsoka. And that's where we get the information on Thrawn. Well, that's what she's looking for. She asks him.
That's the information she's looking for. She says, "Where's your master?"
Apparently it's her master. No, sorry, not his master. Her master. And yeah, that's interesting because Thrawn obviously links to Ezra.
Yeah, now that's got a lot of questions. First of all, where's Sabine? That's the main one.
Why didn't she mention Sabine? Couldn't you just said, "Oh,
yeah,
you're Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
I know another Mandalorian."
Yeah, but yeah. A, where's Sabine? That's an interesting thing to ask. B, with regards to Grand Admiral Thrawn, we know that he's up and about again, so that has to mean that Ezra's somewhere.
Ezra's either dead or he's somewhere. He's still been held like captive, but you can't hold someone captive for this long. I don't know.
That long, yeah, especially a Jedi like Ezra is, yeah.
Maybe Ezra's just like, maybe he just escaped and sort of just went somewhere else. So maybe this is obviously gonna lead to an Ahsoka series, probably, or some sort of a series
or some sort of spin-off
involving
series,
sort of maybe the Rebels characters, possibly bringing back Bo-Katan, maybe even bringing Mando into it.
Yeah, because it has to, because I don't think they'd address that in Mando, like in this show, because it has nothing to do with any of the stories that they've set up with Mandalorian. It has nothing to do with the Mandalorian as a character. So,
well, I've been saying since earlier this year, because I've fully finished Rebels this year, that I'd love to see Thrawn and Ezra and all them like in live action.
Yeah, Thrawn is just like one of the best
He's
Star Wars
a really loved Star Wars character as well by the community. Yeah. So if they brought him into live action,
he's like he's like in the top 10 like extended lore characters in my opinion. Number 1 on that list is Ahsoka. That's why I was so happy that they brought her in this episode. She's like the best character that's not from the movies in my opinion. But yeah, the thing with Thrawn was an interesting tidbit that they put in there, and hopefully it's like it goes somewhere with a new show.
It seems like they're really in this season. They're really like just putting little bits of information to set up different things. So, for example, the Boba Fett thing, which we haven't seen him return. I don't think we're going to see him return. We'll probably see him in his own series. Yeah,
we could. I don't think they'll make a whole. I don't know. Actually, that's a possibility. They could be making a Boba Fett show, but
Bo-Katan and Ahsoka as well.
Yeah. Also, with I guess that kind of leads on to something else that I was going to say. If you're a new fan and you've never like seen Clone Wars or Rebels, and I know one of my friends, shout out to you, Dylan. He's seen episode 4 and 5, but he's never seen anything Star Wars aside from that, and he's been like really underwhelmed with this season because he's got no clue what's going on. And he enjoyed the first season, so I guess maybe that's a criticism for some people that they don't like know what's going on. But then again, for fans, this is like everything we asked for. Like we wanted all this really good stuff, like a good live action representation of Ahsoka and Bo-Katan, bringing all this stuff from canon together. So for fans, this is amazing. If you're a new fan, you'll probably be a bit more lost with it. But yeah, after Thrawn,
we get a nice gunslinger moment again from Mando when he faces.
Oh yeah, when he shoots Michael Bihn's character. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, and that guy was just obviously being an idiot. That's just never a good idea.
I actually I like the way he was acting. He was sort of just like, I don't even know why, he was just having fun with it. People
do like stupid stuff like that in TV shows. Like, why do they try and do over the character? He's clearly just going to kill you in like 2 seconds. And this is not going to work. But yeah, the whole fight ends. Obviously, the city's been liberated. Happy for them.
That's the sort of side part of obviously that really ties everything together.
Mando gets the staff from Ahsoka. Ahsoka says this belongs to the Mandalorian, so she gives it to him. That's going to be his
a new weapon.
Murder weapon against Moff Gideon,
I guess. He's carrying so many things now. I don't know where he's going to put all of it. He's probably going to keep it on
He'll be like a GTA character. He'll like pull it out of his...
pull it out.
You just whip a rocket launcher out of nowhere, even though it's just like pull it out of thin air or something.
So that we can assume that Mando's going to use that if he fights Moff Gideon, like when Moff Gideon's using the Darksaber. Because Beskars sort of can handle lightsabers.
Lightsaber resistant, so. And then she says, "Where's your little friend?" Obviously talking about the child, or Grogu as he's now called. I'm gonna have to get used to saying that. And then
you still know the community is gonna call him Baby Yoda, though. Baby
Yoda, yeah. Like all the casual fans will probably call him Baby Yoda. And then he'll go and get. He goes and gets Grogu, and brings him to Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka goes to the Razor Crest, obviously, and then she says that I can't trade him because you're like a father to him, and that connection's going to stop him from learning. So, but if you're that desperate to find Jedi, go to the planet Tython and find the Seeing Rock and place him on there, and he'll talk to another Jedi. Now, there's some interesting connections there. For those of you who don't know, Tython is the planet that in the, I think it was the Darth Vader. No, it wasn't the Darth Vader comic series. It was the Dr. Aphra comic series, or one of the Star Wars comic series. Dr. Aphra takes Darth Vader there to like kind of misguide him from going to Hoth. So instead of going to Hoth, she takes him there. And the thing about that planet is there's also rumors in like within the canon that that's where the first Jedi Temple is. And obviously we know in The Force Awakens, Han says that Luke went looking for the first Jedi Temple. So is Luke going to be in the next episode? Is the Jedi the child will connect to Luke? I mean,
there's a lot of possibilities. Could be Luke.
Yeah, and also
Yoda.
Also Ahsoka Yoda as well. Ahsoka says to Mando earlier in the episode that he can't control his fear or whatever. And if you think about it, in the movies, in terms of fear, the one person who like fully mastered that was Luke. He got over his fear of fighting Darth Vader and facing the Emperor, and won in Return of the Jedi. So, if there's anyone who could trade him, it's probably Luke. But I think if Luke is in the next episode, it'll be like Rebels, where Yoda first appeared in Path of the Jedi, where they'll have Luke talk to the child through like the Force.
Probably saying, "Don't bring him here because we've got a crazy nephew who's gonna stab everyone soon."
That's probably before he turned evil.
Nah, obviously, yeah, but
he must be like a few years old at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, he can probably wield a training lightsaber. I don't know.
Yeah, one of those weird little ones.
Snoke's getting created in that lab, so well.
That's what people. Well, was he's been blown up? I guess if that was him, I don't think it's Snoke, but I don't know. But yeah, the thing with that is, I guess now which Jedi is that gonna be? I think the three possibilities for me are Yoda, because Yoda's just the main Jedi who talks to everyone. Luke, Anakin, or
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Yeah,
I think I'm really drifting towards Obi-Wan because I feel like that's the way they can say that Obi-Wan took him from the temple. When
I don't know if that one would make sense, but I think that them saying that it's Obi-Wan would, like, if Obi-Wan's the Jedi who connects with him, that could be who it is, because obviously we know that Ewan McGregor has said that he tested his Obi-Wan suit on the set for The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that character. And obviously Deborah Chow, who worked on Mandalorian, is making the Obi-Wan series, and she's directing an episode of Mandalorian soon, I think.
I mean, yeah, so, I think with all those characters, I think we're just gonna have to wait and see. Maybe next episode will be a filler episode, maybe not. Who knows? Guess we're just gonna have to wait.
It's gonna be a good-looking episode though, because Rick Famuyiwa, who directed the 2nd and 6th episode, is directing it.
Yeah, so that's to look forward to.
At least it'll be a good-looking episode, yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much that's all I have to say. What an amazing episode! So many things done right, so many things teased.
Yeah.
Few confusing things, a few things to speculate on, but that's
ask a few questions about.
That's what happens every
episode. That's Star Wars for you, I guess.
Yeah,
so just explain it later.
But
fantastic episode. Otherwise, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty much all I have to say. So let us know, guys, if you've seen the episode. Let us know your opinions. We'll be back here again next week.
I'd like to think if you're watching this, you'd already see the episode.
Yeah, I hope we didn't really spoil anything for you. We did give you a warning though at the start. But yeah, if you did watch the episode, do let us know and let us know your opinions. We'll be back here next week again for our next episode review. So make sure you subscribe and stick around for that. You can also go and check out all our other videos on our channel, some Star Wars related, some other topics. Thank you so much for all the support lately. It's been sick, and we hope to carry on making a lot of videos for you guys in the future. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with all your family and friends, and the Star Wars community, of course. Don't forget to comment down below with your opinions, suggestions, theories, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
See ya.